بدتها أرواحنا والله طويل العمر يستاهل عزيز والد وعاهل سلامة راعي الطولة سلامة شعب ودولة وكل ابونا عبد الله بدتها أرواحنا والله حبيب الشعب يستاهل عزيز والد وعاهل سلامة راعي الطولة سلامة شعب ودولة وكل ابونا عبد الله بدتها أرواحنا والله طويل العمر يستاهل عزيز والد وعاهل
And welcome back, dear viewers. That was a report on the King's safe recovery from his spine surgery. And of course, people across the kingdom, including officials and citizens, congratulated King Abdullah, the custodian of the two holy mosques, on the success of a back surgery that he underwent at King Abdulaziz Medical City 2 weeks ago. They expressed joy over the good health of the king and prayed to Allah the Almighty to grant him long life to serve the Saudi people and the entire Muslim nation. The citizens said that there is no limit to their delight on this great occasion, and that reflects the depth of love and affection between the people and their leadership. They thanked the king for his wise policies and his keenness to ensure the welfare of his people, as well as his endeavors to achieve the nation's remarkable development. With us today are members of Al-Iqbal International School, talking about their celebration of this happy occasion. We have Mr. Ibrahim Abdul Salam and Mrs. Asma Masood, who are both English teachers at Al-Iqbal International Schools. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much. We're happy to be with you, to join you.
Well, it's our pleasure to have you. First of all, if you can talk to us about, in general, about how the activities that were conducted in the school.
Today we had a kind of activities concerning the celebration or rejoicing the speedy recovery of King Abdullah. And King Abdullah, for us, for the Saudi and for the residents and for all the world, he's a prominent figure and a prominent king, and he is precious for us and for the residents and for the Saudi and for the people who live in kingdom. And he has a kind of a kind heart, and he had a lot of charities he did during his past years. He helped a lot of needy, he did a lot of things. So in our school, by the owner of the school, Dr. Mansour Khanizan, we enjoyed this kind of event, and they had a lot of competitions. Also, the event was sponsored by some kind of companies or sponsors.
Yeah.
And the students enjoyed by some kind of competition, some kind of sport competition, some kind of reciting the Quran, some kind of reciting some poems.
Okay.
And it was a very nice day. We enjoyed it.
Great,
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Actually, it was a wonderful day. Children really enjoyed it. Like, you know, happiness was all over the place, and they were really happy.
That's good to know. That's good to hear.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And talking about the children, what sort of age groups were the children that celebrated in the event?
Actually, all ages, starting from KGs until grades like 10, 11 or something like this.
This
Right.
is something we enjoyed. We are happy so much. So the school from KG to the grade 12, all of us enjoyed this celebration, this good event, this happy for us event, which is the speedy recovery of King Abdullah. So this is all the school were happy, and all the school participate in this event and this festival that we did today.
Definitely, and it's I think it's a great thing that you as a school celebrated the recovery of the custodian of the two holy mosques. And do you think that other schools should follow the same pattern, or are other schools already doing this?
Of course, we have to instill in the students the importance of that kind of persons who can affect our lives and who guard our life. And even we live here, even we are Saudi or non-Saudi, we have to join the students with what's happening around them.
True.
And this kind of instilling and planting this kind of things inside inside each school, to join the students inside the school with what's happening around them, and also to make them notice that that thing is something we have to enjoy and we have to happy with.
And you know, like actually students should be connected to real world.
Yeah.
And this is what schools should do.
Exactly, rather than just, you know, keeping them in this
Exactly.
routine of curriculums and so on.
Exactly.
School
And you know, like
activities.
most of the children, like, or our students, they were born here, like they spend almost all of their lives here. So they're part of the society.
True.
And they see King Abdullah as, of course, he is the father of the nation. And
Exactly.
there is so much love by all the people for King Abdullah.
And you know, like the comment that I always hear from my students, they always speak about his kind heart.
Yes.
Like this is the comment I always hear about him.
And he's known throughout the world actually for the same thing, for
And
being
you know, like, yeah,
a humanitarian.
My students,
Yes.
they were really happy about women who participated in Olympics. They were really amazed about this, and they consider it like one of his best achievements.
Yes.
And it is, by the way.
The Saudi women to
Yeah.
participate in it.
Absolutely, so many different achievements.
Exactly.
He's always
exactly.
been known as a huge
woman supporter.
yeah, a philanthropist and a reformist, and so
Exactly.
we
Because
say
we are in a changeable life. Life is
Yes.
not static, and we have to improve ourselves, as you are saying, harmony of life.
yeah, exactly.
This is harmony of life, that you have to be flexible. You have to deal with the people you agree with or don't agree with, because the life means we are different, and
True,
difference means we are the same at the same
Exactly.
time, because we integrate each other.
Exactly,
So that's
yeah.
the point.
Great point. But now let's talk about the school in general. It's the actions or the plans that it does to encourage the students to make the most out of themselves and get the most out of themselves.
Yes.
How does the school go about
First
that?
of all, we have to notice the school is a part of the student life, and a very important part of the student life. The student passed a lot of time, or passes a lot of time, more than he spent with his family or with his brothers and family members. So the school should support his building his character, building his knowledge, because we are dealing with humans. We are not dealing with empty vessels that should be fed up with kind of knowledge. It's not the point. The point is building the character up and try to improve him psychologically and socially and even physically. So the school should recognize, or as we work, we have to recognize that we are dealing with humans. They have their own interests, they have different backgrounds, they have different feedbacks that we have to recognize during our teaching. So the stream of teaching, or the methodological way of teaching, insisted on that we have to improve both the acquisition of language besides the acquisition or developing the student's character. This can be through the knowledge that he had through studying curriculums and so on, and also through the activities he should practice. Because activities or the events that like we are doing today improves the student's character and improving his personality.
True.
So we have to work in two sides, the side of improving his knowledge and the side of improving his character, building his character, understanding the students through activities, through science fairs, through book fairs, through all these types of
And
clubs.
you know, like traditional ways of teaching aren't working anymore.
Yes.
Students are totally different. They're using their iPad, tabs, and stuff. Like, if I stood in front of them teaching on the board and like the old-fashioned way of teaching, they won't hear us. So like our methods of teaching is all about activities. Like
You've changed.
Of course, the world
Exactly.
is minute by minute,
yeah.
the world is changing, and
Of
if we
course,
stay
yeah, and
static and
so we
fixed
have
and
to
stiff
change,
and
like to
rigid,
cope with the students' progress, development, the development around us.
To cope
Actually,
with that.
it's our teaching is all about activities.
Well,
Yes.
actually, it
I can
sounds
understand that.
sounds like you have a very progressive way of thinking, and your school is definitely a very modern and progressive school.
Yeah.
And so how do you train the students for an activity like today's event?
For example, he has to depend on, it depends on the importance of the activity and how to join the student with the activity and the importance of the activity and how this activity will be applied correctly in a kind of a fruitful outcome at the end. It means that we have to make the student feel happy, feel relaxed, feel out of stress. This kind of phase of time that he spend during this kind of event or this kind of activities will support his stream and his course of study. By the way, it's an integrated work with knowledge acquisition.
And you know, like it doesn't mean that we have an event today, so we plan for that event. Actually, this is something that we built since the beginning of the school. Like these kind of activities they're used to do, they're used to perform, and like this. So when we have an event, they're already prepared, and
So you don't have to plan in advance, and you don't have to...
we plan in advance just the organization of the day.
It's a
But
kind of
students,
event,
yeah.
but what is exactly,
Yeah.
it can be like, for
It
example,
can interchange and be...
of course, but
yeah.
activities is something, is a part of education.
I think that many people overlook, or even educators overlook, that children are more, I wouldn't say unstable. Unstable is too bad of a word. Sensitive. I mean, when you deal with children who are learning new things every day around them, it falls mainly on the teacher.
Yeah.
And
Don't
the
make them
school.
feel that they are learning new things.
Exactly.
Make
But, I mean,
it familiar
every,
to them.
everywhere they look,
Yeah.
they're learning new things. And when you mentioned that, you know, kids are not empty vessels, they are actually, they're more, again, with the word sensitive, that dealing with them.
The best
is,
way to
you have
teach.
to really be careful how to deal with them. And concerning events that you did today, they really have a huge impact on what you show them and what you try to get them aware of. So in terms of these activities that you do are an integral part of the school that you always try to...
Sometimes
Exactly.
activities can reflect some kind of skills and talents inside the student character. He cannot recognize even his family. This kind of activities show some kind of prodigies or some kind of people who are so skilled in something. Through this kind of activities,
You can tell who's
you can discover something which the student himself cannot
Didn't know
recognize.
about. Yeah.
Cannot recognize. And also, activities in the school is like building the character besides building knowledge. So it has to be integrated together. So if you work only with knowledge, the student will hate the school, will not enjoy the school. And also it depends on the role of the teacher. The teacher should be a helper, not an instructor. The teacher should be a kind of a person who helps them, not instruct them. It's kind of bridging between the student and the difficulties of life or the experience that they should acquire in order to face this kind of problems or this kind of challenges that we are facing day by day.
Yeah, actually, our way of methodology is student center, not teacher center.
Yes.
Actually, like students do everything by their own selves.
And teachers are just assistants.
Just
Exactly.
help. I show him the way, I show him the track, and back him, stand back after him, and notice how he's doing. Is he about to fall? If I was about to make mistake, I have to be, that's my action. I have to stand beside him. This is the new way of teaching. And also have different kinds of methodological strategies, which is the educating through fun, to make they enjoy. If this teacher, and also I have to tell the students that I love to be a teacher for them. It's not a big burden or a big load over me that I'm standing and having the marker or working on the board. This is something I hate in my life. The student will hate this subject and this school. So the teacher is a God chosen, by the way. It's not, we cannot create a teacher. The teacher is a God chosen. Because if you are dealing...
It's a vocational job.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Dealing with
It
minds...
cannot be like a job that I work in to have money. You have to love your job.
Each job has its own assistants.
Those are the best types of teachers and the best types of educators, and the best type of any profession are the people who really genuinely
their job.
love
If you
their
think
job.
about
Yes.
doctors,
Yeah.
about engineers,
They're
about
not doing it for the money.
Yes,
Yes.
everything about around us, you will find helpers for the person who is doing the job. No, the teacher, he doesn't any assistant.
True.
So he has to do all the work.
And they are the most important people, I'd like
course,
to say,
because
of course, the
without
next
building the
generation
characters,
are our
we are
leaders.
building
going to be our
characters.
leaders.
Yeah,
So they're very
exactly.
important.
Yes, of course.
Well, let us now go on a short report, and then we'll be right back with Mr. Ibrahim Abdul Salam and Mrs. Asma Masood. Stay tuned.
سلامة راعي الطولة سلامة شعب الوذولة وكل ابونا عبد الله بدت ارواحنا والله سلامة راعي الطولة سلامة شعب الوذولة وكل ابونا عبد الله بدت ارواحنا والله طويل العمر يستاهل عزيز والد وعاهل سلامة راعي الطولة سلامة شعب الوذولة
Nada, what can you say to His Majesty King Abdullah for this occasion for his recovery?
I'd like to congratulate him for his recovery, first of all, and I'd like to thank him for building the pillars of the contemporary Gulf and for planning its future. And I think he's done a very great job. I would like to congratulate Saudis for the recovery of King Abdullah ibn Abdulaziz and pray for him that live a long life.
I would like to congratulate the Saudi people for the recovery of King Abdullah, and may Allah bless him and give him a long life.
I wish for him a happy life and a long life full of happiness and successness because of his kindness and giving us hope and make us believe that this is our home country.
I would like to thank him for everything he did for us and for letting us feel that this is our home country. And I wish him a sweet, long life and full of happiness.
That was a short video on the short report on the event that was done today at Al-Iqbal International Schools on the occasion of King Abdullah's recovery from his back surgery. Now with us in the studio, Mr. Ibrahim Abdul Salam and Mrs. Asma Masood from Al-Iqbal Schools, talking to us about these events and how they try to nourish a child's mind with the events like these. Now, I'd like to ask you one final question is, how do you manage to plan these events and make them a part of a student's school year, but also without affecting the academic performance?
The student should recognize the priorities of his work. That's it depends on the parents, by the way, that the priority is for knowledge or for building the character. Also, if we have, like today, we don't have anything to teach, we have some kind of compensation, maybe some kind of the teacher will compensate it later on one day after that, or give them some kind of homework in order to balance that day that we exert a lot of activities, and next day we can make homework, we can
actually
compensate.
these kind of activities, they do not affect academic level
course,
at all.
they improve
Actually,
it.
they improve the academic level because they are practicing their English, they are practicing new skills, they are practicing their presentation skills. So it improves their academic level. It doesn't
That's
influence it
good.
anyway.
But we have to change the point of view of the families and parents concerning the activities. They consider it a waste of time.
Yeah.
And this is the
As you were
mentality.
saying,
And it's
learning.
totally not. It's learning. Yes,
It's
it's learning in
through
a
fun.
through fun,
That's the
exactly, in a very nice
methodology,
environment.
yes.
Yes.
And that's the best way for young people to want
To
to learn
enjoy.
anything is to enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
exactly.
Well, Mr. Ibrahim Abdussalam and Mrs. Asma Masood, I'd like to thank you very much for being with us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for educating our future.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And it
We're
was a
happy
It's
to
pleasure
our
have you.
mission in the school, by the way,
It's
educating
our
for
mission
a
in life,
lifetime.
not in the school, in life.
For a lifetime.
Yeah, educating for a lifetime.
Yes.
Well, those were our guests, Mr. Ibrahim Abdussalam and Mrs. Asma Masood from Al-Iqbal International Schools. We'd like to thank him again for being with us. And I'd also like to thank my colleague Camille Janvier for being with me on the program.
You're most welcome.
Richard Slater for sports and exercise. He's going to ask you about the planks next week, so make sure you do them. And I'm Walid Saleh. We'll see you tomorrow with a brand new episode of Harmony of Life. Until tomorrow, have a great night. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
سلامة راعي الطولة، سلامة شعب ودولة، وكل ابونا عبد الله، بدتها الراحنا والله، طويل العمر يستاهل، عزيز والد وعائلة.